Good evening to all pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world. Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Alright, folks, Marigold fans, it has come down to the wire. That's right, we only have one more day left of the Dream Star Grand Prix 2025 tournament. That's right, September 14th is the final day of block matches and is also the day of the finals as well. They're going to conclude the whole tournament on the 14th. All other matches leading up to this point have been completed, so I wanted to get on here and go over the current standings of the tournament as we get ready to go into the final day. And I'm also going to go over the scenarios as well for the ladies that are still alive in this tournament. It's been an interesting tournament. It's been a very interesting tournament, but it's really coming down to the wire. Who will make it to the finals? Who will win the whole thing? Of course, we know last year's winner was Utami Hayashishita. She ended up going on to win the Marigold World Championship. Will the same happen this time? Well, she's the champion currently, but could she win 2 in a row? We'll see. But let's go ahead and let's dive into these current standings. Starting with the Dream League. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Let's do it. Okay, starting with the Dream League. Let me move this over just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So let's get started. So, with the Dream League, we have 2 competitors that are sitting at the bottom, both with records of 1-4-1, with 3 points each. They are Chiaki and Ryoseto, both members of the Darkness Revolution faction. Let's take a look at Ryoseto, the Black Diamond. 1-4-1. She got the 1 victory over Chiaki, but 4 losses to Maria, Koki Amare, Mayu Iwatani, and Utami Hayashishita, and she has the 1 draw with Victoria Yuzuki. Okay. And then we have Chiaki, the other member of Darkness Revolution. Same record. Has a victory over Koki Amare, but 4 losses to Utami Hayashishita, Victoria Yuzuki, Sarayama Oka, and Ryoseto. Has a surprising draw, which was in the form of a double countout, with Mayu Iwatani. Yeah, it was pretty surprising. Okay, we have 1 competitor right now with a 2-4 record, 4 points, and that is Maria, of course, 1 half of the current Marigold Twin Star champions. 2 victories over Ryoseto and Koki Amare, but 4 losses to Utami Hayashishita, Mayu Iwatani, Victoria Yuzuki, and Sarayama Oka. Alrighty, we have 2 competitors sitting at 6 points, both with 3-3 records. They are Sarayama Oka and Koki Amare. Let's look at Sarayama Oka. Her 3 wins were over Mayu Iwatani, Chiaki, and Maria, and then 3 losses to Utami Hayashishita, Victoria Yuzuki, and Koki Amare. Alright, let's take a look at the Amethyst Butterfly, Koki Amare. 3 victories over Victoria Yuzuki, Sarayama Oka, and Ryoseto, but 3 losses to Maria, Chiaki, and Mayu Iwatani. Okay. And then... Oh, and speaking of which, all 5 of those that I had named and went over the standings, they are mathematically eliminated. So Maria, Rhea Seto, Chiaki, Sari Yamaoka, Koki Amare are mathematically eliminated. Okay? Now, right now, sitting at 8 points on a 3-1-2 record is the current Marigold Superfly champion Mayu Iwatani. She has 3 victories over Maria, Rhea Seto, and Koki Amare, has 1 loss to Sari Yamaoka, and 2 draws with Chiaki and Utami Hayashishita. Okay? And then we have the top 2 competitors tied at 9 points, both with 4-1-1 records. And that's Utami Hayashishita and Victoria Yuzuki. Let's take a look at Utami Hayashishita, the current Marigold World Champion. Her 4 victories were over Sari Yamaoka, Chiaki, Rhea Seto, and Maria. Her 1 loss was to Victoria Yuzuki, and she has the 1 draw with Mayu Iwatani. Okay? And then you have Victoria Yuzuki, 4 victories over Maria, Chiaki, Sari Yamaoka, and Utami Hayashishita. She has the 1 loss to Koki Amare and the 1 draw with Rhea Seto. Alright? So that's what we have. Utami, Mayu, and Yuzuki are still alive. Now, let's go over the scenarios for this last day for the Dream League. So, starting with the easiest one. The easiest one is Victoria Yuzuki. All she has to do is beat Mayu Iwatani. That's her final match. All she has to do is beat Mayu Iwatani, and she's in. Simple enough. Because here's the thing. Even if Utami Hayashishita were to win her match, because Yuzuki owns the tiebreaker over Utami, that would put Yuzuki at the top. So pretty much all Victoria Yuzuki has to do is beat Mayu, and she by default will advance to the finals, regardless of what happens between Utami Hayashishita and Koki Amare. Okay. But like I said, she has to beat Mayu. And that's not going to be easy. Okay. Utami Hayashishita. Her final match is against Koki Amare. So all Utami has to do, she needs a win over Koki, and she needs Yuzuki to lose to Mayu. If that happens, then Utami will advance to the finals for the 2nd straight year in a row. I do give Utami the advantage over Koki, but like I said, it's also going to come down between Mayu and Yuzuki, that outcome. But Utami needs needs Yuzuki to lose to Mayu. But Utami needs to win her match. And then Mayu Iwatani. So she has to win her match against Victoria Yuzuki, and she needs Utami to lose to Koki Amare. If that happens, then Mayu advances to the finals for the Dream League. Now here is where it could get interesting. If Mayu beats Yuzuki, but Utami and Koki Amare go to a draw, then both Utami and Mayu will be tied, at 10 points. And here's the thing, Utami and Mayu have a draw against each other. So in that case, they would need to have one more tiebreaker match. And then the winner of that would advance to the finals for the Dream League. But like I said, it would only come down to that if Mayu beat Yuzuki and Utami versus Koki went to a draw. So we'll see what happens, but between these three, Yuzuki, has the straightforward path. All she has to do is beat Mayu and she's in, no matter what happens in the other matches. So those are your scenarios for the Dream League. Now let's flip on over. Well, let's look at final matchups. Final matchups with the Dream League. So we know Utami versus Koki, which I'm pretty sure Utami's winning that. Mayu versus Yuzuki. That I'm pulling for Yuzuki. But it's not going to be easy. Let's see. And like I said, Koki and Utami, I don't see Koki winning. Sari Yamaoka versus Rhea Seto. I think Sari has that one. Maria versus Chiaki. Maria will probably get that one. But those are your final matchups. I'll be rooting for Victoria Yuzuki to advance to the finals, but I just have a feeling. I got a bad feeling that Mayu is going to advance to the finals. But we'll see. Okay, now let's go to the Star League. Okay, the Star League. Alright, so sitting at the bottom of the Star League with a really terrible 1-5 record with 2 points is Kazuna Tanaka. Dang. She's on the verge of doing worse than she did last year. Goodness gracious. Her one victory was over Misao Matsui, but she's got 5 losses to Chanyota, Nagisa Nozaki, Mirai, Miku Ano, and Mai Sakurai. Man, sucks to be her. You have one competitor with 4 points on a 2-4 record, and that's Chanyota. Man, I was really hoping she would do better. But 2 victories over Mai Sakurai and Kazuna Tanaka. 4 losses to Miku Ano, Gochika, Misao Matsui, and Nagisa Nozaki. Alrighty. We got one competitor on a 2-3-1 record, 5 points, and that's Chika Goto. So let's see. Gochika has the 2 victories over Chanyota and Misao Matsui, 3 losses to Mai Sakurai, Miku Ano, and Mirai, and the 1 draw with Nagisa Nozaki. Alright, we have one competitor that's sitting at 6 points on a 3-3 record, and that's Psycho Speed Misao Matsui. Was on a roll for a bit, but that came to a halt. 3 victories over Mai Sakurai, Miku Ano, and Chanyota, but 3 losses to Mirai, Gochika, and Kazuna Tanaka. Okay, we have 2 competitors sitting at 7 points each. Both have 3 2-1 records. That's Mirai and Nagisa Nozaki. Let's take a look at Nagisa Nozaki. 3 victories over Mirai, Kazuna Tanaka, and Chanyota. 2 losses to Mai Sakurai, Miku Ano, and a draw with Gochika. And then Mirai, same record. Victories over Gochika, Kazuna Tanaka, Misao Matsui. 2 losses to Nagisa Nozaki and Mai Sakurai, and has the 1 draw with Miku Ano. So, all 6 of those competitors that I just went through, Mirai, Gochika, Kizuna Tanaka, Misao Matsui, Nagisa Nozaki, Chan Yoda are all mathematically eliminated. So it comes down to two ladies left in the Star League that are still alive. First up, with 8 points on a 4-2 record, is the current Marigold United National Champion, Mai Sakurai. She has 4 wins over Mirai, Gochika, Kizuna Tanaka, and Nagisa Nozaki. 2 losses to Psycho Speed, Misao Matsui, and Chan Yoda. Okay? And then sitting at the top with 9 points on a 4-1-1 record is Miku Ano. She has 4 victories over Gochika, Kizuna Tanaka, Nagisa Nozaki, and Chan Yoda. She has the 1 loss to Misao Matsui and the 1 draw with Mirai. Okay. The scenarios for the Star League, very simple. Mai Sakurai, all she's got to do is beat Miku Ano, and she advances to the finals for the 2nd straight year. So, pretty straightforward there. Let's see. Miku Ano, all she has to do is win. Actually, as a matter of fact, all she has to do is win or draw. Yeah, all she has to do is win or draw against Mai Sakurai, and she advances to the finals. I thought it was just a win, but nah. It's a win or draw. So, actually, this is pretty easy setup for Miku Ano. Mai Sakurai has to win. Miku Ano, all she has to do is win or draw. Yeah, all she has to do is win or draw. So, now let's take a look at the final matchups. 1 second, y'all. Bear with me for 1 second. Just fixing some things. Okay, there we go. Okay, so final matches. Like I said, Miku Ano versus Mai Sakurai. Mai Sakurai has to win, she advances. Miku Ano has to win or draw, and she advances. Let's see. Mirai versus Chan Yoda. That should be good. That should be really good. And even though Mirai could get up to 9 points, being that regardless of the result of Miku Ano versus Mai Sakurai, she wouldn't be able to overtake them. So that's the only thing with that. Let's see. Gochika versus Kizuna Tanaka. That could probably go either way. I think maybe Kizuna Tanaka might get one more win. She might get one more win. Misao Matsui versus Nagisa Nozaki. That should be interesting. Both are in the Darkness Revolution faction, so that ought to be interesting. But yeah, those are your final matches. But yeah. So just a recap. So we know for sure that from the Dream League, either Utami Hayashishita, Mayu Iwatani, or Victoria Yuzuki, one of those 3 will make it to the finals. And for the Star League, either Mai Sakurai, or Miku Ano will make it to the finals from the Star League. So, this should be very interesting. Now, who do I think will win the whole thing? So, I'm still going with Miku Ano to win the whole thing. Here's the thing though. If Victoria Yuzuki, let's say she does indeed beat Mayu and she advances to the finals. I don't know, y'all. Being that she's beaten Utami and she would turn around and beat Mayu, get her win back from when Mayu dethroned her for the Superfly title, then I part of me would kind of have to pick Yuzuki as a favorite to win this whole thing. But I do believe whoever wins this tournament will go on to dethrone Utami. Now, here's the thing. When Utami won, she had her title match at Marigold First Dream. So, I don't know if they're going to do the same thing for this time around. I mean, or they could have the winner get their title match at Grand Destiny on October 26th. I mean, you got options. You got options there. But I'm still sticking with Miku Ano winning the whole thing. I got a bad feeling though that Mayu has a good chance of winning. I don't think Utami will win this tournament for a second straight year, but I think Mayu has a great chance of winning. Victoria Yuzuki, I think it would be cool. Mai Sakurai, I don't see winning. And like I said, Miku Ano is my pick. So, yeah, something tells me it's either going to end up being Miku Ano, Mayu Iwatani, or Victoria Yuzuki. But I really think Miku Ano is going to win the whole thing. So, that's my prediction. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are on the tournament so far. Let me know what you think of these final matchups. And, yeah, let me know who you think will make it to the finals from the Dream League and the Star League. And let me know who you think will win the whole thing. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. My name is Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed day tomorrow, and I will see y'all in the next video and our live stream.